Shalom. Call all Yahbashim Yahushai Barakatam. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to the brothers out there on the highways and byways pushing this truth and sincerity. Today's date is Tuesday, January 30th, 4:38 p.m. I just got off work and wanted to put a sit down up based on Esau Edom. We're going to go over a few scriptures that show who Esau Edom is, what his blessings are, and ultimately his role today in the world that we're in now. Who would that fit? Who would that be? First scripture is Genesis 27. I'll start at verse 30. It says, "And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac, his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting, and he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, Let my father arise, and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? He said, I am thy first son, thy firstborn Esau." So basically Jacob, the patriarch of the 12 tribes of Israel, earlier 2 or 3 verses before that, was given the blessing of the world, given the blessing over the nations. You know, as Israelites, that is our inheritance through Abraham, Isaac, and then on to Jacob in this instance. Esau, being the firstborn, was supposed to take that blessing, have rulership over all the nations, lead the world and structure in the world. But spiritually, that didn't happen. It was written that, you know, Jacob would overthrow Esau's blessing, in a way cunningly deceive him of getting that. And everything happens for a reason. So in the scriptures, when you see Jacob doing that to Esau, you know, that's the Most High's will. You know, it had to be done that way. So here it is, Esau's asking for what blessing that he's going to receive. This is a hot topic in Israel. I was just watching a video from the elder apostle Gabar. I guess Vocab Malone mentioned that there is no blessings for Esau, or there is blessings for Esau. So therefore, how could that mean that he isn't saved? How could that mean that God hates Esau if he's blessed? Well, we're going to answer that, because he is a blessing. He does have the gifts of today. He has the kingdom of today for the moment, for now. We as Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, will get that in the future forevermore. We will inherit the kingdom and all the nations and all the people and all the good things and the bad things in life. We will inherit that to be our own. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison, and brought it me? And I have eaten all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yea, he shall be blessed. And see, that's why Isaac was shaking, man, because he knew spiritually that the Most High had it go down like that, that Jacob pretended to be Esau in Isaac's old age, knowing that he couldn't see him very well in his old age, and dressed up like Esau and put his furry coat on. So Jacob was blessed, man. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. So there's a pertinent example of who an Edomite is. You know, of course, if you were supposed to be given a blessing as the firstborn, and you didn't, you would feel like, hey, I deserve something, or, you know. But that's a classic Edomite trait, man. Edomites, spiritually, you have to look at the type of people that we're proclaiming are Edomites, the so-called Caucasians, by blood. You know, not just basically off appearance, but initially that's the statement that we in Great Millstone are making, that your average Caucasian with leprosy, a lack of pigment in their skin, are Esau Edomites. They want everything now. It needs to be instant gratification for Edomites. They need everything to be pleasurable for the flesh, man. They don't have the ability to tap into a spiritual side and see things for what they really are. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety and hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not he uprightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? So that's all he's thinking about, man, is where's his blessing? What's in it for him? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord. This is important. I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And that's the Ishmaelites, Moabites, Ammonites, every other nation of people the Lord gave to the Israelites, to Jacob, and honestly, in today's world, to his children, the Israelites, like I said, to be rulers over them. So that's another important point that I want to make when people say that everybody's equal and that Esau can be saved, or it doesn't matter what color you are. Well, that's true to a degree. It doesn't necessarily ultimately matter what color you are. It matters what blood you have in your veins. But color is just a base formation of what spirituality, what nation that you may be. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father, and bless me, even me also, O my father? And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Esau his father his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heaven from above. And that's symbolically today in Esau's world. He's been given the reins to the world that we know as America, as Europe, the face of the earth. When you think of somebody dominantly controlling the earth, or who symbolizes modern society, who symbolizes democracy, that would be a so-called Caucasian, the explorer of the world, of the known world. And I say that in quotations because it's all misconstrued, but that's the world we live in today. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke off his neck. So dominion being rulership, man. Honestly, that was what Esau was supposed to do, was build up the children of Israel and help them after the punishment that the Lord pushed down onto the Israelites as a nation. After the X amount of slaveries, captivities, the amount of times the Most High has punished us as Israelites, Esau's duty was to rebuild or help rebuild our nation, help rebuild us and bring us up to our feet. Now, if you spiritually look at as a Caucasian, the nation in general, the ethnicity of Caucasians, and you look at so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, Caucasians didn't do anything to help the Israelites at all. In fact, when it was time to rebuild or help rebuild the nation, they put Judah, the so-called Negroes in Southern Kingdom, Levi and Benjamin, in slavery. Practically built America for free. They put the Irish on railroads, which a large majority of them are confusion of face Israelites that have Israelite blood in their veins. All right, you look at the Northern Kingdom, the Native Americans and Seminoles, the so-called European explorers when they set inquisitions over to America and around the world. They weren't asking for land; they were taking land. They were killing and slaughtering. The number of killed Native Americans and Latinos, I think it's Taino or I can't remember. Like the actual Mayans, man, like the actual Latinos that were here before the Spaniards raped and pillaged their women and mixed in with them. You know, there's an undocumented amount of slain and genocide that, you know, in this present world, we're supposed to be looked at like we need to overlook that. Like we need to get over the fact that this happened to our people and that we're all equal. Well, according to the scripture, that was Esau's job, was to build us up. But he didn't. He kept us in slavery. He killed us by the millions. And he still holds us down today in America. You know, it's not so much as a physical slavery anymore as it is a mental slavery. You know, all those hundreds of thousands of years that the so-called Caucasian race has reigned superior over the rest of these nations, he's done unspeakable evil, unspeakable heresies to not only the children of Israel, but to the whole world. He's got this whole place out of whack, man. You know, if this world was to continue going on under the so-called Caucasian race, we would be dead. You know, pollution and the things that are happening to the environment. We have animals that are going extinct forever. You know, the animals that play a vital role in the ecosystem are gone forever under this man's rulership. So he is given that sword, man. He was given that sword. His blessing was to be powerful in warfare. And that's exactly what Esau did, man. He basically waged war all over the world, conquered kingdoms, and killed millions of people to do it. You know, his blessing is the sword. Who else could that be? Who else could be Edomite? If his blessing was a sword, and you look at the United States military and all their different weapons and tactics, and you look at Europeans in general when they first invented a firearm, and they were the first ones to take onto it real hard and real heavy, they slayed all kinds of warriors that were like wielding swords, spears, or were, you know, used to traditional hand-to-hand combat, or even bows and arrows. But when Esau had the firearm, you know, that's a version of his sword, the Gatling gun, you know, things like that took down empires, man. And that's what gave him the fatness of the earth today. And continuing, 41 says, Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. Now at that time, that was Esau. He became Esau Edom, later known as the Edomites. He was the progenitor of the Edomite race. That spiritual sense of wickedness inside him, that spiritual sense of Cain inside him, to slay Abel, to slay Jacob, you know, you got to look at those connections, man. The scriptures, they line up. Here a little, there a little. All right? That's the same mentality that these Edomites have. They want to hold us down. If we were to stay here, you see so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they're comfortable and thinking that Caucasians will befriend them and even make things equal in a sense, you know. And just because we live in America where we are equal, you know, so-called, to lower class Caucasians that aren't as rich as the super elite, that don't have stakes in ridiculous treasuries, you know, the true elites, the true owners of the world being the Caucasian men and women, you know, we are equal to some of these people down here in the sense that their own people have betrayed them. You know, they would have it that in order to make more money, in order to control more people, they gave up a portion of their own people to be in America, to pay taxes in this system, to go to a job, a 9-to-5, in most cases where you work your whole life and you don't have anything to pass on to your children. You don't have any benefit. You know, we're not even getting into the things that the Israelites suffer, being Section 8, you know, being embedded in the system, the federal system, eliminating the father from the household, so that the man can't play a role in his children's lives. You know, ultimately allowing this country to shape our children to shape and mold them into what society wants them to be, which is wicked little demons. All right. So that's my point in Genesis, man. It's clear, at least to me, you know, who, if not anybody, who could be Esau, Edom, just from this one scripture alone. Looking at people all around me today, well, you got people saying the Arabs are Esau, Edom. Well, they do have the military, but they weren't the first ones to start all-out war like that. Democracy, you know, things that the so-called Caucasian race have originated. I won't say originated because they aren't original at all, but they jacked everybody's stuff and are using it to control everybody. You know, that's their nature, man. Nobody else fits those roles, that role, except for so-called Caucasians, man. And I should know. I was raised by them, you know. And this isn't even a self-hatred type thing. For scoffers out there watching, this is the truth. This is my true opinion of what I've seen and what I've been raised around and what I believe, man. So let's go to Malachi, the first chapter. There it is. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I love Jacob. Showing once again that the Most High is selecting his chosen people. You get that in the Old Testament, the New Testament, the Apocrypha. It just keeps repeating itself. You can't get away from it. The Most High chose the Israelites, period, point blank. And I hated Esau. This is the Most High, man. The Most High speaking through Malachi. If you believe the Bible and you believe in God and you believe in who the world calls Jesus Christ, then you have to accept the fact that this text says this. This text says this. That the Most High, who the world calls God, hates a certain people on this planet. Let's stop for a second and say that we don't know who the Edomites are. Even though we really do. Even though it's obvious who the Edomites are. God is saying he hates Edomites. All right? So who are they? Where are they? Because they're not extinct. Some people would have you believe that there is no such thing as Esau, Edom anymore. He was destroyed a long time ago. And that this is the kingdom of heaven. America's the kingdom of heaven. On some crazy shit. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. And that's what's going to happen. That's the Most High speaking in the future sense. This is a prophecy for what's going to happen soon to America. In our lifetimes, we will witness it. We will witness the downfall of America, just like Rome and Europe and the UK, NATO, and all the other nations that have established militaries and dominance in the world. They will be destroyed, starting with Esau, Edom, the so-called Caucasians, man. Thus saith God. You can read it again. It's on the screen if you need to. I want to get to where it says the face of the earth. Let me see, did I already...